Hey friends, welcome back to my garden vlog. This week I need to fertilize. I noticed a lot of growth in my green beans and my peppers, so I figured now is as good a time as any to go ahead and fertilize. I'm just using this spray jug. I paid about 20 bucks for this on Amazon. It's a 1 gallon jug. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Neptune's Harvest. And the dilution for this says it's 1/8 cup per gallon of water. So I'm just going to pour 1/8 of a cup into this, top it off with some cool water, and then as soon as I show you my little seed haul that I got, we're going to head on up to the garden. This stuff stinks like the devil. I want you to know when I opened this and started pouring it, every cat in the house came running like they thought I had just opened up a can of sardines. So if strong smells bother you, do not use this in the house. Like mix it with the garden hose outside. It's pretty funky stuff. Now, you don't have to fertilize your garden this way. This is the way I'm choosing to do it. The side of the Neptune's Harvest bottle does say that this fertilizer is good for being sprayed directly on the plant leaves. So that's what I'm doing today. I'll spray it on the foliage and a little bit down at the base of the plant. We're supposed to get some rain tomorrow, so I'm hoping that that will help just kind of water this fertilizer in for me. So, on to my little seed haul. My Gardener was having a seed sale, and I figured I would go ahead and stock up on some things, some stuff for next year, and a few things for this year. And I'm just going to go through these with you real quick. I forgot in the spring to pick up nasturtium seeds, so I went ahead and picked up 2 packages of the Jewel Mix nasturtium. And on this day, I did go ahead and put some of these up in the garden for ground cover. I picked up some swamp milkweed. I was going to go ahead and plant this, but I didn't realize that milkweed really needs to be cold stratified. So I'm just going to hang on to this seed packet, and then before next spring, I'll just pop it into the refrigerator and probably just direct sow them next year so that I can feed the butterflies. I think everybody should have some milkweed in their garden. I got some of these sunspot dwarf sunflowers. These aren't supposed to get incredibly tall, so I'm thinking about planting these around my wraparound porch. I got some chocolate cherry sunflowers. I'm a sucker for the dark colored sunflowers. I just think they're absolutely beautiful. I got a package of mixed sunflowers. I planted some of these last year and they were stunning. And then who can resist a fluffy sunflower? So I got a pack of teddy bear sunflowers. My oldest daughter's favorite flower is sunflowers, so I'm probably going to go a little crazy with the sunflowers this year. I also picked up some food seeds for next year. All of these tomatoes are indeterminates. So I got beefsteak tomato. Picked up a package of shishito peppers because I really want to try them. Our grocery stores around here don't carry them, and I'm super curious. I got a pack of Aunt Ruby's German green tomatoes. I love fried tomatoes, as does everyone in my family, so those are going to be great. I got Goldie tomatoes because I've never grown anything except for red tomatoes, and again, I'm curious. And I got pink Berkeley tie-dye tomatoes because I've heard really good things about them, so I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. I did pick up 2 more types of cucumber seeds as well. I make a lot of pickles. We eat a lot of pickles. We eat a lot of cucumbers on salads in the summertime, and I'm running dangerously low on cucumber seeds. So I just headed on up to the garden and went ahead and started spraying everything down. I started at one end and I just worked my way across. I really like the sprayer because, it's just a pump sprayer, nothing fancy. I don't have to run back and forth hauling buckets of water to do this. I can just, 1 gallon of this will pretty much do my whole garden. I actually did have enough left over after I did the big garden to do the onions and the garlic as well. And as I'm walking around, I'm just kind of checking everything out. And I did notice that my pepper plants, in my last vlog, I had said I wasn't sure if they were going to bounce back. And my goodness, they did. They are really starting to put on some growth. So I'm happy about that. Clearly, my green bean bed did the same thing. So, yeah. And I realized that to do this in the middle of the day is not ideal on most days. On this day, however, it had been cloudy. We had had cloud cover the whole day. The temperatures were nice and cool. I knew that this fertilizer was not going to scorch my plants in the sun. Now, the sun did start at one point coming in and out of the clouds, but then the cloud cover came again. So I'm not really concerned about spraying this on the foliage on this particular day. Now, would I recommend doing this on a 90-degree day? No. I would do it in the morning or I would do it in the evening. You will see me here in a second stop down on the end of this bed here. I'm not sure if you can see what I'm doing, but I do a big stomp. I was killing a squash bug. And when I walked over to my cabbages just to check on their progress, there were squash bugs on the outside of that cloth hoop house. I was just smacking them and squashing them off camera. I was like, seriously, this early in the summer and I'm already getting squash bugs. So, look at my green beans. They went from nothing in a week to having flowers. I'm going to be up to my shoulders in green beans before you know it, picking green beans. So I'm really excited about that. As I said last time, picking green beans is one of my favorite things. I'll just pull up a bucket and I'll just dive in with my headphones in and just lose track of time picking green beans. It's really good for clearing your mind. I'm very happy with their progress and I'm very happy that they bounced back from all of that rain that we had. Here are my little tomatillos I said last week that I would show you. There are so many of them. These little paper husks, they are absolutely adorable. I am probably going to end up with more tomatillos than I know what to do with. Not sure if I can freeze them or not, but I probably am going to try. My tomato plants are doing well. In case you haven't noticed, there's a running theme for me that I'm kind of a chaos gardener. My tomato plants still have not been trellised. They are running wild. And part of me just kind of wants to let them just to see what happens. Clearly they don't mind it at the moment. And the stalks of them are pretty big now, so I don't know that I would have to worry so much about them breaking at this point. The Super Sweet 100 cherry tomato is covered in cherry tomatoes. And I love how they grow in these cute little clusters. I can't wait. Now, these are my shameful little zucchini and squash plants I was talking about last week that I said I had. My accidental one was doing really great, but the ones I planted with intention aren't doing well at all. You can see how tiny these are, and it's comical because they're still trying to make flowers. So I'm going to let them, Chaos Gardener, I'm just going to let them do their thing and see what happens. Worst case scenario, they don't do anything at all. And I end up with fried squash blossoms. Best case scenario, I end up with some zucchini and some squash. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant, I think I planted like 8 nasturtium seeds in this bed. I know that the okra is gonna get really tall and there's not gonna be anything in the center of this bed, and nasturtiums do okay in like partial sun. So even if the okra gets big and shades them out a little bit, it'd make a really nice ground cover in this bed and it'll be colorful and it will draw more pollinators for me. You really can't have too many pollinators in your garden. Now this is my accidental squash, the one I said I must have dropped a seed. It has 2 female flowers on it. You can see the little fruit there. And then it has just a ton of male flowers. And I thought that I'd be coming up here today to go ahead and pollinate it. I was going to pull off a male flower and pollinate the female flower, but that flower was still shut down really tight. So I don't think I'll be doing that for a couple more days. And I just wanted to give you a quick sneaky peek at my borage, and it has a pink flower on it. I think that's so neat how the plant can have pink or blue flowers. But that's all I have for this week, friends. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jen. I do cooking, canning, and food preservation videos every Tuesday, and I do garden vlogs every Friday. If you're into that sort of content, I really hope you'll consider subscribing and sticking around. We have a really great group of people here, and we would all love to have you. Until next time, friends, happy gardening.